Gabby Petito was a 22-year-old woman with a bright smile, a passion for travel, and a dream of living life on the road. In the summer of 2021, she set off on a cross-country trip in a white van with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie.
Gabby Petito never goes outside.
They documented their journey on social media, showing beautiful landscapes, happy moments, and what looked like the perfect road trip. But behind those carefully curated Instagram posts was a much darker reality. Just weeks after the trip began, Gabby vanished, and by the time Brian returned home, alone, everything began to unravel. Gabby and Brian had been dating for several years, having met in high school in Blue Point, New York. They later moved to Northport, Florida, with Brian's parents. Gabby dreamed of becoming a travel influencer, so she and Brian converted a Ford Transit van and decided to take a trip across the United States. They left in July 2021, planning to visit national parks and share their experiences online. For a while, things looked perfect, at least on camera. But cracks in their relationship were already beginning to show. On August 12, 2021, police in Moab, Utah, pulled the couple over after reports of a domestic dispute. A witness had called 911, stating that they saw Brian hitting Gabby. When officers arrived, Gabby was crying uncontrollably, saying she had been stressed and anxious. Brian claimed they had just been arguing. Bodycam footage from that stop would later become crucial. In it, Gabby appears emotional, while Brian remains calm, even joking with officers. The police ultimately decided not to press charges and separated them for the night. Gabby stayed in the van, and Brian was put up in a hotel. It was a missed opportunity to intervene in what was clearly an escalating situation. For the next couple of weeks, Gabby kept in contact with her family, mainly through text messages. But something about the messages started to feel off. On August 27th, Gabby's mother received a strange message that simply read, "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Stan was Gabby's grandfather, but Gabby never called him by that name. Her mother immediately felt something was wrong. That same day, a couple visiting the Spread Creek area of the Bridger-Teton National Forest in Wyoming spotted the white van parked oddly along a remote road. They later shared dashcam footage with authorities that placed the van in that area on August 27th. Gabby would never be seen alive again. Brian, on the other hand, returned to Florida on September 1st, alone. He drove the van back to his parents' house and didn't contact Gabby's family. In fact, for 10 days, he said nothing. It wasn't until September 11th, when Gabby's family reported her missing, that the police officially got involved. Brian refused to speak with investigators, instead hiring a lawyer. His silence only deepened the suspicions against him. Then, things took an even darker turn. On September 14th, Brian told his parents he was going for a hike in the nearby Colton Reserve. He never came back. Just days later, he was officially named a person of interest in Gabby's disappearance. Meanwhile, search efforts intensified across the country, and public interest in the case exploded. On September 19th, authorities made a heartbreaking discovery. Gabby's body was found near the area where the van had been seen in Wyoming. The coroner later confirmed that she died from blunt force injuries to the head and neck, along with manual strangulation.
We hereby find the cause and manner of death to be the cause, death by strangulation, and manner is homicide.
She had likely been dead for weeks. The bright, adventurous young woman who once smiled in videos and posed with mountains in the background had met a violent end in the wilderness. but Brian was still missing. For more than a month, police searched the vast and swampy Carlton Reserve. The terrain was difficult, full of alligators, snakes, and thick brush. On October 20th, Brian's remains were finally found. He had died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Nearby, investigators recovered a notebook and backpack. Inside that notebook was a confession. Brian admitted to killing Gabby, claiming that she had been injured and he thought he was ending her suffering. But few believed that story. The evidence pointed to rage and violence, not mercy. The case left the public with more questions than answers. How could a seemingly happy couple on a dream trip end in murder? Why didn't authorities take stronger action after the domestic violence report? And how much did Brian's parents know, both before and after Gabby's death? The Gabby Petito case also sparked national conversations about the handling of missing persons cases, especially those involving women in abusive relationships. Her story received massive media coverage, while thousands of other missing people remained overlooked. It shined a harsh light on how quickly public interest can turn some cases into headlines while others are ignored. The term "missing white woman syndrome" resurfaced, pushing people to ask why certain victims receive more attention than others. In the aftermath, the Petito family established the Gabby Petito Foundation, aimed at supporting organizations that help locate missing persons and provide aid to victims of domestic violence. Her parents have since become vocal advocates, urging for changes in how law enforcement handles these cases and encouraging people to look for the signs of abuse. Though they will never get their daughter back, they continue to fight in her name, so that maybe, just maybe, the next Gabby can be saved before it's too late. Gabby's legacy is a painful one, but it is also a powerful reminder. Behind the filters and road trip photos, behind the hashtags and smiles, there can be fear, isolation, and danger. And in Gabby's case, it was hiding in plain sight. This is the Dark Enigma. If you want more stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe and join us next time for another chilling case.